Welcome to the college football tailgate. There he is. There's Jim.
I was setting up my little teaser for Uncle Rico.
Oh, there we go. Jim, am I full on Papa Smurfing this thing? Do I need to pull on my red pants?
You are running everything.
Okay. That's good to know. Welcome to the show, everyone. As you can tell, Jim goes on vacation. Uncle Rico goes to visit his father. Happy birthday to Uncle Rico's father, by the way.
Happy birthday. Was that Pop Rico?
Sure. Yeah, Pop. So he's visiting Pop, and everything just went to there's no punctuality or anything.
It's just what happens.
It's just what happens. Right. Since we're late, Jim, without further ado, let's start ripping through these college football games. Starting with the 11 o'clock God's time slate. We got Temple headed to South Florida. South Florida 7.5 point favorite. Temple getting plus 220 on the money line. Total at 69.5. Jim, did you have a play here? I know it was a pass for me.
It was a pass for me. I thought maybe you'd play in Temple, but I decided against it. I couldn't bring myself to take the Owls there. I wanted to play Temple so bad.
You know, I found my AAC futures picks and everything, and I was way higher on Temple than I should have been.
You and Uncle Rico were both really high on Temple.
It's that Kurt Warner DNA. Moving on. Number 8, Alabama takes on Kentucky at 11 o'clock. Alabama was laying 11.5. Kentucky plus 350. Oh, we are hearing the echo.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. This is bad. That's what kept us off, by the way, Sports Facts.
It's my bad.
Here, I can keep it going while you go try to scour some stuff. Yeah. Jim's gonna mute himself.
When I talk, I'll just unmute. It'll be perfect.
I think you still get the echo just from me.
Does that mean you just had to mute and unmute?
That's I don't know. I don't know if it's or not. Let's see. We'll just roll with the echo. Here we go. Alabama laying 11.5. Kentucky D plus 350. Dog on the money line. Total set at 46.5.
I rolled with Alabama later.
Alabama later. What do you mean?
Little tease for the people.
A little tease for the people. It was a pass. It was a pass for me.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Here's a game that it was a pass for me. But because there's just I think we've hit too much bullshit. Michigan head to Penn State. Michigan's still a 4.5 point favorite. Penn State getting 170 on the money line, total 44.5. Is there too much crazy shit happening to want to touch this game?
I think with all the stuff going on and what I saw from the Michigan players, I had to roll with Michigan. I had to go with the Wolverines. I had to. They're all locked in now.
They're rallying against the outlaw, you think?
Yeah, they're rallying against. I guess this is a rally for the interim. Plus, they're really backing their coach.
It's like a Bonnie and Clyde play.
And it would be just the funniest thing to me if Michigan won.
I think me and Uncle Rico talked about it last week. Like, the question with Michigan is, at what point does all the bullshit become rallying and become too much bullshit? I don't want to place the gamble that it's this week.
I think it's fine this week. I think it'll come to bear like it usually does for Michigan around playoff time.
All right, well, next game, I'm in here. Maryland, Nebraska. Nebraska, the 1.5 point home dog. How'd you play this game? I know you played this one.
Now, I hate betting on Nebraska. I fucking hate betting on this team so much. But I did it. It's goddamn November Maryland. How can I not fade this Maryland team?
So I made that. That's my play. Also, I just said fucking disrespect. This is a November Maryland, and you're going to just give me a home dog like this with Nebraska, a Nebraska team that's hunting for a bowl game. I think they handle biz at home. I system play here. It's a small spread, and it's a home dog. They're giving me plus money on the money line. I'm tattooing Nebraska here.
Yep, I just played Nebraska money line. Just give it to me all day.
All right, moving on. Texas Tech and Kansas. Kansas laying 4.5 at home. Total a hefty 62.5. Any plays Texas Tech and Kansas.
How do I? I'm gonna have to go back in. How do I not play Texas Tech here after Kansas just takes down Oklahoma?
Well, that was a couple weeks ago because
that was like 2 weeks ago, but
yeah, I don't know. You have Texas Tech that's coming in off of some extra rest because I believe they had like a Friday game last week against Baylor. I don't know. It could be a spot to take Texas Tech. I stayed away.
It's a spot that I stayed away from, but I could see myself maybe in the next like hour or so taking Texas Tech.
I can see you, in the next hour just taking every bet ever that's been happened on this God's green earth. Moving on, Indiana, Illinois laying 6.5. Are we due for a double reverse flea flicker Burtoning in this game?
Both these teams suck. There's no nice way to say it. Both these teams are awful. I stayed away. I didn't want anything to do with this one.
Dude, you know what? I didn't have this as a play, but you bring up an excellent point, which is both of these teams are terrible. And I think that both these teams are the same like caliber of terrible, and so therefore 6.5 points becomes way too big. For one, I know Illinois has been scoring a lot of points, but it's still you have a risk of this game going like 3-2. You know,
it's one of these just like super gross Big Ten games.
What's up, that one black guy? Also, our bad for the echo. We don't know what's going on. We're gonna blame technology. All right. Moving on, also the 11 o'clock slate. South Carolina laying 13.5 against Vandy at home. Total set at 55.5. You can hear the dogs barking all the way from Georgia in SEC country. Even though you're in Phoenix.
They're just obnoxious, aren't they?
Yeah. Big pass. Big time pass for me here.
Oh, dude, the biggest of passes. I can't bet against this Georgia team right now, and I just want nothing to do with it. I can't get behind this whole Ole Miss thing.
So he was not given the pink slip. He is celebrating the birth, the person who gave life to Uncle Rico from his ball sack, his father.
Yeah, he's celebrating the birth of the man who birthed him.
Yeah, that's right. The man. Let's look at Tulsa here in Tulane. Number 20 Tulane is laying 23.5 at home. So I'm not going to touch this game. A lot of the reason is going to be the recent mantra that I've come up with, which is I would be on the side of Tulane more than likely. Do I want to be the guy with a Tulane minus 23.5 ticket in my pocket when that doesn't cash? I'm not sure that I do, especially because Tulsa is a little bit of a wonky team. They're a little bit bipolar. They can put up points in bunches, and this could be a shootout. So I'm not touching.
I love Tulane here, but I can't bring it. Just like you said, the minus 23 is just too dang much. I was the guy with Penn State minus 30, whatever.
Yep.
And they didn't cover, and no, I can't. I was already that guy once this year. I can't be it again.
That's fair. Moving on. I've got action in this one. Virginia Tech, Boston College. You got anything here?
God, I really want to take Virginia Tech.
Then we are on opposite sides of it because I went Boston College on the money line at home. They're a 1.5-point dog plus money on the money line. And you know what? I still would have taken Boston College, even if it wasn't the spread implications in a system play. I don't think that they're a bad team. They're definitely not as bad as the 2-10 or so that I predicted them to go. I watched them play a very good game against Syracuse. Virginia Tech is plucky, but I mean, I think they've won enough games that enough people might actually be like hanging out in whatever tree nut hill that you know.
I think people are like expecting things out of Virginia Tech now, which is dangerous, to say the least. I saw him as a dog earlier in the week. I was like, oh, I kind of want the Hokies, but I couldn't do anything in this one because, but if a game with these two teams, I'm gonna want to take the dog every time. I just can't bring myself to bet on Boston College.
There we go. Well, here we go. This is interesting to me. I'm sure no one has action, but I just want to point out Holy Cross, Army. Army's laying 11.5. Air Force just lost to an Army team that's not even laying 2 touchdowns against FCS. Holy Cross.
I'm fading Army. Give me Holy Cross.
Yeah.
The points all day.
Yeah. Next one, I've got a little something on this one. Georgia Tech and Clemson. Clemson's laying 14.5 at home. Sorry, no. Wait, did I get that? Yeah, no, at home. I'm in here. We're catching Clemson on the heels of their upset last week. This is definitely a fade spot. And who is to quote Uncle Rico here? Who is Cade Klubnik to win with margin? I don't trust Cade Klubnik at all. I do really like this Georgia Tech team. They're a very lucrative betting team. They do very well ATS. So give me Georgia Tech laying that many points plus 14.5.
Give me Georgia Tech plus the 14.5. I sprinkled some on the money line here. This Georgia Tech team is the definition of feisty. Who is Clemson to be laying this many points? What the fuck?
Yeah, they put way too much stock into that victory last week. I think I feel like they just caught a team in a bad spot whenever they won last week.
And now all the pressure's on Clemson to actually make a bowl game.
Right. All right, we are scrolling. They just added the FC. You know we're late because they just added all the FCS lines. So now I'm having to pick out all of the actual FBS. All right, moving on to noon. Old Dominion and Libibity. Libibity laying 13.5. I didn't play this. If I were going to play this, I would be on the side of Old Dominion. Old Dominion is, like we said, feisty. It's another feisty team. There's so many from like that area of the world right now, feisty football teams that just cover spreads like crazy. And it's Old Dominion. It's Virginia. It's who else? There's other people. Boston College.
Oh, yeah, BC, Virginia. I'd argue for the last few weeks, Virginia Tech has been really good about it. It's that area in particular that I call it the Deep East.
The Deep East.
So just feisty.
All right. I would be on the side of Old Dominion here. I might pull the trigger on that. I haven't yet.
Yeah, same here. I would roll with ODU. I haven't found the chutzpah to pull the trigger.
All right, so we're on to the 1 o'clock slot. Troy, UL Monroe getting 21.5 at home against Troy. Troy looks like a Sun Belt champion kind of team, just because of James Madison, pretty much. 21.5 feels like way too much. This was one that I didn't want to play. Now I kind of want to sprinkle a little bit on UL Monroe. It's a to be seen, but it's not a play that I'm making at this time. What do you think?
I see why you would want to, just because like you said, Troy kind of has all the future ahead of them. They look like they're the best team in the Sun Belt. They look like they're going to win this conference, and then ULM has nothing. And that's the spot you want to take the team like that. And I didn't pull the trigger, but it might be something I grab later. Is ULM? I love Troy here, but that's just too many points.
Here we go. Memphis and Charlotte. Charlotte's getting 10.5 at home. I just want to point out that I'm like 1 win away from my Charlotte win total future. I want to say I was on the over there. And it had to do with the disrespected Biff Poggi. Memphis wins this in a blowout, right? Like they win this by like 20.
Oh,
25.
I'm on Charlotte straight up at the points.
Okay.
You can't disrespect Biff Poggi like this, dude.
Maybe that's what's going to happen to my tickets today is I've disrespected Biff Poggi, and now the astral projection of Biff Poggi just shows up. It's like, you should have asked me how my day was.
He will.
You didn't ask me if I got a haircut. It's obvious I got a haircut.
I wanted to come off with to the post game conference with the cutoff sweatshirt and everything.
Dude, yeah. He very much has your aunt's roommate at a softball coach convention at Disneyland. Like drip.
Oh, yes.
To him. All right. NC State, Wake Forest. NC State getting 2.5 on the road. They're down to a backup quarterback. Wake Forest showed a little bit of fight in the first half against Florida State. They have some pluck to them. That being said, I'm passing. What say you?
I passed. They're bringing back Brendan Armstrong for NC State. Their guy that's led them to 3 in a row, 3-1 in the stretch. He's redshirting the rest of the year. I get what NC State's doing. It just makes me not want to bet on this team because I would be fading Wake Forest just because, I don't know, Wake Forest has been awful this year.
Yep. All right. App State and Georgia State. My policy right now is I'm not touching any App State games because they spot other teams massive amount of points so they can play it just instant classics. Well, no part of that
the
shit.
only time I ever bet App State is if either A, they're a 2-score, like a 2-touchdown underdog, or B, the person they're playing is a 2-touchdown underdog. It's not that way here, so stay away.
We got the newly minted number 23 Arizona laying 10.5 on the road against Colorado. Colorado plus 300 on the money line. You know what? This is a late edition. Sprinkle me on the money line. Sprinkle me on the money line with Colorado. Here's the deal with Arizona is they just cracked the top 25. Look what happens to teams that just like sneak into the bottom of the top 25 typically the first week of the rank. It doesn't do well for them. I'm going to be on the points. I'm going to sprinkle on the money line here. I'm using Colorado.
I was on the points. God damn it, Chase, you got me. Sprinkle a little bit on that money line. This is just a spot play. Arizona's feeling themselves. And like you said, anytime a team just enters the top 25 for the first time in the season, I got to fade them.
You're getting 3-1 for it, too. You're getting 3-1. It's going to be cold as hell in those mountains, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, UConn headed to James Madison, 25.5 point spread. James Madison, of course, the favorite. UConn's on the auto do not touch list.
Yeah, I'm staying away. JMU losing the sack leader for the season. I still think they're the better team, trying to prove something. I want nothing to do with this one.
I'm going to mention this one just because it's a FCS and just showed up, but it's a rivalry game. The battle for the ravine. Henderson State, the Reddies against Ouachita Baptist, the Tigers. These colleges are literally across the street from each other. One is on one side of the street, the other's on the other side of the street, and there's a little ravine with a street running in between them, and it's the battle for the ravine. Give me the dog, Henderson State.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm rolling with you.
By the way, you need to look into Harding University in Arkansas and what they're doing right now. They're running for like 600 yards a game. They're undefeated in FCS. All right, hold on. We got this. Rob Carlton says it's not that cold on a walk with my kids in Colorado right now. So here's the deal. I live in Arkansas, Rob. It's like in the 50s here. I always assume that it's about 30 to 40 degrees colder in other places that are traditionally cold. So that's where the assumption comes from. Moving on to Baylor and Kansas State. Kansas State minus 21.5. Baylor plus 750 on the money line, total set at 55.5. This feels juicy for an under. Looks like the odds agree with me, but I'm not touching this one. What about you? You fucks with Kansas State a lot.
I do fucks with Kansas State. I would lean towards the under here because I just see K-State's defense being able to handle Baylor and just wrap them up. But how do I not expect a letdown from K-State after their almost win at Texas?
Right. I agree. I'm not sure if this is a bounce back spot. I think it's a great spot to take Baylor.
Yeah.
But you have to take Baylor is the problem with it for me. So that's why I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to like actually get
cold.
behind this Bears team. They're awful.
Rob, that's cold. And for people from Arizona, that's even colder. It was so hot in Arizona this summer that you would get like 3rd-degree burns from touching like doorknobs and the ground. Let's go to Nevada, Utah State. Utah State laying 16.5. No, thank you.
No, stay away.
Sam Houston State at La Tech. I got some action. What about you, sir?
I saw a lot of I saw a post from vaunted USFL veteran Jamar Smith saying they should fire Sonny Cumbie at La Tech.
Maybe they should, but you know what? This Louisiana Tech team is a wagon at home. Only at home. And a 7.5-point spread, I'm going to go ahead. I'm taking that candy. I'm going to take Louisiana Tech there for the home performance. Sam Houston, they've won a game finally. They had to play like a FCS team to do it. They're still technically an FCS team. You can tell me they're redshirted players for this year, no matter how much you want, but it didn't really make any difference in the slightest. So, yeah, leaning on the home wagon here. I'm taking Louisiana Tech and the points. FIU, the airport, taking on Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State at home, laying 10.5. I wouldn't mind taking the shot at Middle Tennessee State, but I'm not going to.
No, I'm staying away from this one. If I went anyway, it would be MTSU, but no, I couldn't bring myself to bet them.
All right. Moving on, we've got 2:30 Northwestern and Wisconsin. Wisconsin at home, laying 11.5. If this was on the road, I might fucks with Northwestern, but I'm not going to touch this game. It seemed that like I really liked the early part of the day, and then I really liked the very latest part of the day. The middle,
I took the under here. I don't. Okay. I trust Northwestern to muck it up with a bad Wisconsin team. Give me the under. Just give me terrible Big Ten West play.
Here's a really intriguing game and a really intriguing spread to me. The Utah heads to Washington. Washington laying 7.5 points. Total here at 49.5. So that feels like an overplay. And also, I have no idea what to do with this game vis-a-vis the points. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Utah just got boat raced. Like, are they bouncing back? What's happening? If they're going to bounce back, they have to do it on the road against Michael Penix. Are they going to, though, give Washington their best shot because Washington is getting everyone's best shot right now?
Yeah, that
feels kind of like
thing.
a pass.
I don't know. Like, I don't trust Washington's defense to really be able to do much, but Utah's been pretty bad offensively for the last, 2 or 3 weeks. They seem to be figured out. If it was at home, I'd be all over Utah. But I just had to stay away just because going up to Seattle, I don't like it.
Even though he's out for the season, it's just become a reflex at this point. Is Cam Rising going to play this game? Is Cam Rising playing?
Chase, reports have been saying I don't think we're going to see Cam Rising this week.
Taking snaps with the first team. Taking snaps with the first team, though, looks great. All right. Miami, Florida State. The juice is back in this rivalry. You have two pretty good football teams. Florida State laying 14.5. I got to play. What about you?
Give me Miami. That's Florida State's been playing so close with just so many they've been playing footsie with just straight up bad teams. Give me Miami to keep it close. They've been looking ahead to this spot for the last 3 weeks. That's just what Miami does.
Dude, give me Miami in the points. That's one of my plays. Plus 14.5. Are you kidding me? In a rivalry game?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Do you know how much this means to the people at Miami, especially when Miami's been a little bit down and now Florida State's got some shine? I guarantee that Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Warren Sapp have just been on campus staring at them while they sleep. You wake up and there's Ray Lewis just over you you got to win the Florida State game, right? Stabby, stabby, stabby. Give me Miami.
All day. Give me Miami all day.
And twice on a Sunday. Moving on, Texas State, Coastal Carolina. Texas State going on the road, laying 2.5. Coastal Carolina getting 2.5 at a home, plus 115. The system play would be for Coastal Carolina. Home dog, small spread. But I'm not playing this one. Like I said, I've ended up focusing on a lot of the late games after the 2:30 slot.
Yeah, like you said, system play says South Carolina. It's gross. I might end up taking it, but I got nothing in it right now because I like this Texas State team too much.
2:30 p.m. A Clash of Titans, a offensive goddamn fireworks show is going to ignite when Rutgers rolls into Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa. Total set at 72.5. No, I'm sorry. I flipped those. 27.5. 27.5.
Oh my God. I haven't even seen it. It got lower from when I took it.
Someone said the other day, this is the lowest recorded ever college football total. This is amazing.
I still took the under.
Anything above 4, I'm taking the friggin' under. Give me the under in this game. But I don't even know why. We're not even going to talk about the points in the money line. It doesn't matter. It's all about Iowa not scoring points from now until Iowa's season finishes.
If I went anyway with the points and money line, it'd be Rutgers just because, I don't know, Shiano's weird. But, give me the under. That's the only thing people care about in these games.
Dude, 6-5 game. They're going to score 11. Next week, we're going to get a 17. And it's going to be glorious. Because we will never see, as an Undertaker, this fulfills my soul. It's just me solo now. It is just me solo. Hopefully, Jim will drop back in. We'll see if he's got an opinion on Oklahoma State and UCF. I know that I don't. There he is.
Yeah, my phone overheated a little bit. We're good.
Did you drop it on your lap and burn yourself? Was it like a hot tamale?
A little bit.
All right. Oklahoma State. Number 15 going to UCF. They are a 2.5-point favorite. I know that they're going on the road. But doesn't this number feel too small with the way the Big 12 Ridge has been playing against Big 12 new?
So I thought the same thing. I know Uncle Rico is probably going to talk about how he's all on UCF because this is the spot. It's a spot play. I could, with a spread that small, I don't know. I'm with you. I feel like the original Big 12, the core of the Big 12 has just been dominating all the new members. So I couldn't not take Oklahoma State here. I rocked them.
UAB and Navy. All I got to say is Trent, good luck on them wife's looks.
They should be looking. I like UAB here. Give me the Blazers. Give me the little Dilfs.
The little Dilfs. I like that because I'm imagining a Little Rascals spinoff. That's the little Dilfs. He's got the alfalfa.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Tennessee and Missouri. Missouri, the 2.5 point dog at home. I really like this Tennessee team. Once again, it ends up being like a system play with plus 115 on the money line with Missouri laying 2.5 at home, spread within a field goal. But I'm not going to do it because I hate Missouri.
Yeah, just give me Missouri straight up. I've been rocking with this team all year, it feels like. I was with them last year, too. I was just a little early to the train. Give me Missouri straight up.
I noticed, and I hate it.
Yep.
Minnesota, Purdue. Minnesota laying 1.5 on the road at Purdue. And if you have a bet in this game, I'm going to ask you, how terrible is this football game?
Can we just not talk about any Big Ten West football game?
It's possible. Moving on, Pittsburgh, Syracuse. Pittsburgh, Syracuse. Syracuse getting 2.5 at home. And I'm seeing you can get plus money for the 2.5. Plus 125 on the money line. Total set at 37.5. I don't know how to quit Syracuse. I might have to add this one. This wasn't initially one that I was interested in playing. Syracuse played close against Boston College, who I'm giving some, who is still alive for the ACC.
Oh, I can't. I've been burned on Syracuse too many times this year.
It's Dino Babers in the song, and the seats got to be hot right now.
It's lava hot at the moment, which means I want to take him, but I just can't. I can't.
All right, New Mexico State heads to Western Kentucky to take on the Red Amorphous Blobs. And now the issue that I have, Jim, is that if I can't trust Western Kentucky to perform on Swaggy Helmet Night, how can I expect them?
Trust them?
Yeah, when can I trust them ever again? The answer is never.
Yeah, the answer is never. I can't. I'm staying away from this one, but Western Kentucky. You get one shot a year where you do something swaggy for us to back you. Mm-hmm. You just lay a dud.
All right, finally onto the 3 o'clock slot. Washington State, California. The Cal Golden Bears laying 2.5 at home against Washington State. How happy does this make you? How much do you miss the sandwiches?
My Cal Golden Bears getting the sandwiches made. I took the over in this game. I think I'm just blindly betting Cal overs. This is not something I thought I would do at the start of the year.
Moving on, ECU, FAU. That's Eastern Carolina versus Florida Atlantic, the Seaport for you lames. FAU laying 7.5. I mean, I know he's the worst teams in the country, but nah, dog. This is a pass.
Yeah, it's a pass from me. If I went anything, it'd be FAU, just because, as we said, ECU is like the worst team in the country. Although when we do say that, Chase, they seem to perform after.
Moving on, it is the crown jewel of this slate of games. 3 o'clock. Auburn rolls into Fayetteville, Arkansas to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas laying 2.5 points. This feels like an overreaction. Oh, I'm lying. It's an underreaction. I'm taking an alternate line here. Give me Arkansas minus 5.5 plus 150.
Yeah, give me Arkansas all day.
Yeah, Michael, we are aware of the brutal echo. We've tried everything. This is the best we can
It's
do.
blame StreamYard. It's their fault.
It's a StreamYard and Android driving thing.
Yeah, if I would have known, I would have got my earbuds, but I don't have any.
Jim is out of town in Pahonix. All right, we got Arkansas State, South Alabama. South Alabama, 13.5-point favorite. I'm not playing it, but I think you should dabble on Arkansas State.
I think I might end up dabbling on Arkansas State. What do we always say? I don't trust this USA team to win with margin.
We don't trust them to win with margin, and I don't trust anyone to beat Arkansas State right now, much less cover for two touchdowns.
God, fully on. Give me Arkansas State.
Stanford, Oregon State. Oregon State quietly sneaking up to number 12. Minus 21.5. Nope.
No, Stanford's a little feisty here and there. No, thank you.
San Diego State, Colorado State. 3.5 points for Colorado State. And this starts the evening slate. I love all Mountain West teams equally, and I'm deciding to pass here.
I could not do anything in this game. It's I want to fade San Diego State to the sun, but I just couldn't in this game. Stay away.
Next one, we got an interesting one. It's going to be Cincinnati and Houston. Houston laying 2.5 points at home. Cincinnati coming in plus 115 on the money line. 53.5 is the total. I have kind of the thought that that Dana Holgorsen lost this Houston team with just terrible play calling and terrible luck at the end of the Texas game. What say you here? I think that Houston can handle Cincinnati, but once again, I don't have any crutch to lean on, like a Big 12 original versus Big 12 light. What do you think here?
If I'm taking any of the new Big 12 and I'm like fading them, it's going to be whoever against Cincinnati. This Cincinnati team might be the worst team in the conference. They are awful. They are absolutely fucking awful. Give me Houston. Give me Houston there.
It looks like Jim got it figured out with the echo. So it's weird. It's not me who's actually echoing.
Yeah, it's you on me, so I guess I just have to mute. So we're good.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The marquee matchup of the game, or of the day. This time I'm serious. Georgia Southern heads to Marshall. Just kidding. All right, plus 1.5 for Marshall at home. Once again, this would be the system play on the home dog Marshall plus 105 with that small of a spread. I have a policy, which is I cannot keep straight in my head Georgia Southern and Georgia State, and I have no idea which team is which, so I do not touch these games. Jim, you.
Every single week, this Georgia Southern team is either an all or nothing play. I am staying away because I do not trust them in this close of a game. Was it last week they burned me on Texas State? No. Yep. Georgia Southern, no. They have all the pressure on them because if JMU can't play in the Sun Belt Championship, Georgia Southern has a very easy path. No. Stay away from this one.
Okay, this is it. This is the big one. Number 1, Georgia. Number 1 with a circle thing next to it. Ole Miss. Or number 10, whichever you prefer to call it. Georgia laying 10.5. Plus 325 on the money line for Ole Miss. 58.5 is the totals. And listen, Michael Washington, I thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you giving me this information. I would like to let you know, though, that you're not going to change anything. I've been informed of these things on multiple occasions. It does not mean that it actually ends up in the memory.
They're both Georgia-S to you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Ole Miss and Georgia, I smell blood in the water. I'm sprinkling on the money line. Give me Ole Miss plus 325. Give me Ole Miss and the points. Georgia, as Missouri showed us, is a little bit weak against the run, it looks like. And Ole Miss with Judkins can run the hell out of the ball. And if they can start ripping off positive yardage running the ball on first down, they can get into their basketball on turf mode, and they could make this game really hard on. That's the thing about Ole Miss is if they can get chunk plays on first down running the ball with that kid, they're gonna have a good day. So yeah, I'm whole enchilada points and money line here.
Chase, I like everything you said. I wanted to be on Ole Miss this week, but it's a combination of I'm still worried about this Georgia death machine, even though I don't fully believe it's actually going to manifest. And I can't not have in my head Ole Miss just disappointing against the best teams they play.
That's fair. That's Here we go. West Virginia, Oklahoma. Now I've become spoiled with the non-echoing, and every time I hear a little bit of echo bleed out of Jim's screen, I look at him like, you son of a bitch, where were you? Why didn't you press that mute button? Do you hear what we're doing to the people? West Virginia and Oklahoma, number 17 Oklahoma, laying 11.5. They are at home. They're not on the mountain. That played into my decision to not play this game. What about you?
Not on the mountain, stay away. That's the West Virginia way.
There we go. Florida, LSU. LSU laying 14.5. Florida disrespect plus 420 on the money line after getting beat by Arkansas last week. Sorry for your luck. Total set at 67.5. This is a rivalry game. My gut would tell me to take Florida and to take them in a bounce back spot here, but I'm not playing it.
Yeah, I want to take Florida here. I might end up taking them plus the points. This is just it's a bounce back spot for Florida. It's a body blow for Bama, for LSU coming off of Bama. I want to stay away. I'm gonna stay away, but it's gonna be hard to not take Florida here.
Right. It's gonna be hard to not take would be the story, like the name of my autobiography, and it's just gonna be like insert. Rice, UTSA. UTSA 13.5 point favorite. 56.5 is the total. Another team that I don't mess with because they are the ultimate fucky avian team. The Rice Owls. I think it's not Hootie Who. It's Hootie Who fucking knows is what it is. Hootie Who fucking knows.
Ooh, Blizzard 22 coming in with the stats. Every LSU game has gone over this season.
So it's due to go under. This is the time to bet the under.
How do I... Every week I find myself saddled up to this Rice team. And every week I feel myself just like dying inside because this is just pure chaos. Give me the Hootie Who's. Give me Rice. Give me Rice plus the points. I don't trust this UTSA team to win with margin at all. Give me the chaos team. Give me Rice. I want it to be a very fucky game.
I think you 100% like have a being kidnapped fetish, and then you also have a doing crazy shit like putting money on Rice every week fetish. Texas, TCU. Texas getting 12.5 laying 12.5 on the road at Fort Worth. Total set at 55.5. Quinn Ewers is back. I think that Texas probably rolls here, but horns down, fuck Texas. Sprinkling on TCU. On straight up.
Oh, dude, and TCU always plays them like weird too. I don't know. TCU seems to always have Texas' number no matter how weird or bad they are. I wanted to take the points here, and I did take the points here with TCU. I don't care if Ewers is back. I think this is just one of those weird games where TCU seems to always have something on Texas. So give me the Horned Frogs.
Okay. That wraps up. We're into the primetime games now. as soon as my sportsbook wakes up and lets me start scrolling again. Well, we'll go if I missed anything. Here we go. Mississippi State, Texas A&M. Texas A&M laying 17.5. That's too many points on the against Mississippi State, I think. But Mississippi State is really bad. This is a pass. Don't touch this game. There's too much maroon happening in this game to touch this game.
So stay away from this one, please. Maybe just watch to see if it is close, and then watch the Jimbo cam.
All right, Michigan State, Ohio State. Ohio State's laying 31.5. They've taken the money line off, and it's 46.5 is the total. But once again, I won't be touching this because do you want to be the guy with a losing Ohio State minus 31.5 ticket in your pocket when they don't cover against Michigan State? No, thank you.
I almost want to take Michigan State here with how big this spread is. From what I've seen out of this Ohio State team, their defense is otherworldly, but they're not great offensively to be able to win with this kind of spread. I don't know. I might be taking the Spartans here. It's very tempting.
All right. We've got next at 7:00 Duke, North Carolina. North Carolina laying 12.5 at home. You know, this is a tough spot. This would technically be a rivalry game. I hear that Duke and North Carolina is a thing. I wasn't thinking about this earlier, but now considering the rivalry implications, considering the fact that I think North Carolina is good, but I don't think that they're blow out your rival by 2 touchdowns good. I think I'd sprinkle a little bit on the 12.5 with Duke, but it'd be like a quarter unit.
I took Duke. It's a combination of weird rivalry game. Anything can happen, and I like this Duke defense. I don't like their offense is probably stunted now with all the injuries, but I like this Duke defense. I like the rivalry aspect. Give me Duke plus the points.
New Mexico, Boise State. Oh, sorry, skipped over one. Arizona State, UCLA. UCLA 16.5 point favorite, which boggles the mind versus Arizona State. I don't know Arizona State's not that bad. Total set at 44.5. This feels like an over in Arizona State. Do you have anything here? I'm not touching it.
No, it feels the exact same way that you're saying. I wanted to take Arizona State here. I couldn't. You know what? I'm here in the lovely state of Arizona. I'm like kind of close to Arizona State. Give me the Sun Devils. Do it. Give me the Sun Devils. Money line and points.
We had just got done shitting on the Arizona Wildcats, so I'm glad that you hitched your wagon to at least like one of the teams. Like I was gonna have to find you like a Northern Arizona FCS game or something if you shit the bed again. You would make it out of the airport, son.
No, we'll go to we'll hit up what is it, Grand Canyon University.
Bingo. New Mexico, Boise State laying 27.5. Some of these numbers are just. I mean, you should take New Mexico and the points, but I'm not going to. Some of these spreads are absurdly officially big, is what I'll say. Officially big. What's your take on this? Because some of these numbers are big and stupid.
It seems, especially with this Boise State, like it's not just that the numbers are big and stupid. It's teams that we don't expect to be laying big, stupid numbers that are laying them.
Right.
I want to take New Mexico. I cannot. New Mexico's been dog shit this year. I cannot bring myself to bet on them.
Iowa State, BYU. Iowa State laying 7.5 on the road in Provo. BYU plus 250 on the money line. Total set at 4.5. I've got to play, of course. You hit the 7.5. With BYU, you sprinkle on the money line here, the plus 250. Yes, I've been saying this entire episode that Big 12 original teams are easily handling Big 12 light teams. BYU has something going for it, though. It's up in the mountains. It's in the Western time zone. You know, teams going west do not fare well, especially when they're changing elevation drastically. Yeah, dude, give me BYU all over here. BYU will rebound to beat Texas.
It actually makes me think that out of all the new additions to the Big 12, that like
BYU might be the
BYU and
best, right?
UCF have the best advantage because they're so much further away. When you have to go play in their spot, it's got to be crazy.
If you look outside of the, I think that they have the biggest advantage in terms of recruiting bases that are being added into the conference, because with UCF, like, you now get to recruit, like they get to recruit Florida. Like no one else really will do that. With BYU, like they get uh all of Utah. Any player that comes out of Utah that they probably want. They get California bleed over. They get almost exclusively, it feels like, well, them and a few other schools, like them, USC and Oregon, get all the Hawaiians. Like they have a lot of talent. Let's see. Do you remember when Jim Harbaugh returned to halftime against the Penn State football team to help them win the Bourbon Bowl? That's the vibe I'm getting with all this news. This has Bobby Boucher Waterboy script written all over it. I kind of agree with Bidixon's side. Fantastic.
I'm 100% with him there. That this Michigan team, it'd be the funniest thing to me if they won everything now.
Here is the most baffling line of the weekend, Jim. Fresno State getting 2.5 points on the road against San Jose State. They are plus 115 on the money line. Fresno State on the money line. Please and thank you. I'm going to do this quickly before they realize their error, I guess. What the fuck is going on?
Maybe I'm walking into a trap here, but yeah, give me Fresno State. Give me what's going on in this game. That it peaked. I saw the line and I was like, what is going on? This doesn't seem right. Give me Fresno straight up all day.
Yeah, that's a no question play. That was one that I definitely had on my docket. Looking at 9:30 USC Oregon. USC is a 16.5 point dog, plus 550 on the money line. Total set at 76.5. You know what? For every alpha, there is an omega. For every beginning, there is an end. For every Iowa, there is a USC. I don't know if they can give me totals high enough that I'm not going to take a USC over for the rest of the season, especially with they're playing Oregon. They're going to score 130 points in this game.
Yeah, the final score, Oregon will probably cover the spread, but it'll be like Oregon 74, USC 58.
Like, why would I mess with a juiced up minus 115 over 76.5 when I can mess with over 78.5 for plus 105? That's how I'm going to play it.
I like the over, and I like your over, Chase.
Thank you. And last game of the evening. You know what that means. Hawaii football. I'm scrolling. I'll get there. I navigated away like a dick. Almost there. Enhance. Tap, 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 tap. Enhance. Tap, 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 tap. Air Force, Hawaii. Hawaii catching 19.5 at home on the Big Island. Total set at 47.5. Hawaii plus 700 on the money line. Air Force minus 1,200. And I know it's on the Big Island, but Air Force, like, they got Air Force stuff in Hawaii, so they probably feel at home. And also, I think that they want to get back in a huge way after they got shredded by Bryson Daly and Army. And I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I think Air Force cracks his neck because not only do they need to start winning, they need to start winning with margin. And they've also got to start winning pretty if they want to start getting back into the New Year's Day 6th conversation after that ugly loss to Army.
Yeah, this is a spot where I'd always want to take Hawaii. I love this Hawaii team to death. If Air Force would have won last week, I'd be all over the Rainbow Warriors, but I can't. Just like Chase said, Air Force needs to win big. They need to make a show of it. I can't bring myself to bet Hawaii in this spot. It hurts. It hurts in my gut.
That's it, Jim. Those are all the games. Jim, do you want to tell everyone what you got, what you're doing in Phoenix, what you got going on right now?
Yeah, I'm hanging out with Uncle Joe. Just rocking Twitch. We're streaming. I'm heading back tomorrow morning. So it was a great Friday night. We rolled some marbles. It was a good time. And I don't know what we're doing tonight. I'm hanging on by like a thread, Chase.
I'm
barely hanging on.
Well, all I got to say is don't do cocaine unless it's been tested for fentanyl. And don't do fentanyl. It's simple.
I live that rule every day.
Every day. You never know when you're going to run into it, when you're just going to bump into some fentanyl. Just like, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. The fentanyl berries taste like fentanyl.
I also think it would be, I think it's funnier now. So Uncle Rico's not here. I'm not going to do a teaser this week.
You're not going to do a teaser. Well, you know what? I did. I've stopped calling them round robins. I call them Rob Roys now. I got a little Rob Roy going here. I'm playing it 2 ways. Also, actually 3. I'm going to play it as 2 teams. I'm going to play it as 3 teams. And then I'm also going to play it as a straight up 4-teamer. So the 4 teams I'm using, playing in those sort of that format. Started off, I got Nebraska money line plus 110. I got Boston College money line plus 100. I've got Georgia Tech plus 13.5, also plus 100. Louisiana Tech minus 7.5 against Sam Houston State at home, minus 110. So if I hit that as a 2-teamer, I'll get 23.05 odds, 31-1 for the 3-teamers. The 4-teamers straight up will pay 15-1. Yeah, that's it. Those are my Rob Roys.
My Rob Roy is the I took just one. I just did a parlay in a round robin. I did Georgia Tech, Rice, and Nebraska straight up.
Yeah, this isn't a glitch. I'm intentionally doing this with the code.
That's me every Saturday. Like,
guys, you have
every game.
You have to hear the excitement that's in XFL Jim's voice anytime Nebraska does a thing that's positive. It's pretty cute. It's adorable. That's gonna do it for us here on the college football tailgate. We will see you next Saturday. We'll be back at full strength, I think. Wait, it's next Saturday? No, we got 2 more weeks till Thanksgiving, right?
We should be fully strength up next week. I think so.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Give us a follow if you're not already following. Like it, subscribe to whatever YouTube. Woo Pig Suey and Tywoosaurus Velocipig Suey Raptor. That's all I got to say. We'll see you next weekend.